Welcome back, Sebastian here. So today I'm going to be doing my very delayed review for Italian Grand Prix qualifying. So of course no board today. I was out doing a race last night. It was quite fun. But you know, back to business. So I didn't really take formal proper notes like I usually do for qualifying. So I'm just going to kind of go through the order and talk about each driver and what I thought about them during qualifying. So for the 5 drivers that went out in Q1. 16th Joe, 17th Gasly, 18th Ocon, 19th Magnussen, and 20th Stroll. So starting with Stroll down in 20th, he really struggled, I think, throughout qualifying. He missed all of free practice on Friday, missed FP1 because Drugovich was in a seat, and then FP2 had some kind of car issue, so couldn't drive at all. For the 2 Alpines, Gasly and Ocon, well, pretty rotten session for them, I would say. I think going into this race, I kind of knew that they would be hard pressed to do well in qualifying, given that the rumor is that they're quite far down. They're quite down on engine power compared to the other engine manufacturers. So this is always going to be a tricky race for them. That being said, between track limits, violations, and mistakes on the drivers' parts, I think it was not a particularly good qualifying session from either driver. Going into Q2 now, the 5 drivers knocked out were Tsunoda 11th, 12th Lawson, 13th Hulkenberg, 14th Bottas, and 15th Sargent. So I think pretty decent session from the 2 AlphaTauris, getting pretty high up the grid relative to how they usually do. Lawson, I think, also acquitted himself pretty well. Was about only a 10th and a half off of his teammate. I know it's a short lap, I know it's a short track without a ton of corners, but still not terrible for Lawson. Hulkenberg, pretty good as usual, out-qualified his teammate. Bottas out-qualified Joe as well, so not bad for him. Sargent, I think, will be really disappointed to not make it into Q3 like his teammate, given that this was the track where I think we all knew that this was Williams' best shot of getting a really good result. Then into the top 10 we go. Let's see, I think I'll do the bottom half of the top 10 now. Albon, Piastri, Hamilton, Norris, and Alonso were the bottom 5 in Q3. Alonso, I think, was really the best he could do. I think between them and the McLarens, they both cars, I think, have a bit too much drag, and they were never going to do particularly well here. Piastri 7th, Norris 9th. Good result for Piastri out qualifying his teammate Norris. I think they did a really good job for themselves getting both drivers into Q3. Hamilton in 8th, I think, will be a bit disappointed with that, with his teammate qualifying 4th. And he did look like he was struggling, not in the first part of qualifying, but in Q2 and in Q1 on the slightly softer tires. I know he said he had no grip on the medium tires in Q2. So depending on if they decide to use that tire in the race, that could be a bit of a problem. Albon in 6th, I think he came out after the qualifying saying he was a bit disappointed with the result, which the fact that we're saying that a Williams driver is saying that they're disappointed with 6th place in qualifying, I think is a testament to how they've progressed, and their high expectations on this track. Into the top 5 we go. 5th was Perez, I think a little bit disappointing. That being said, was quite a bit closer to Verstappen compared to recent qualifying sessions. 4th, Russell, pretty good result for him. I don't think this was a track that they really had any chance of beating the Ferraris on. So to be out-qualified Red Bull is still a pretty good result. 3rd is Leclerc, probably a little bit disappointed with that, not getting pole position, given that this was a track that, as we saw with Sainz being on pole, spoiler, he could have gone pole position here. But margins were very, very close, and it's all we'll play for tomorrow. 2nd was Verstappen, very, very close to Sainz. I think he'll be content with that, not happy, but you know, 2nd is still a very workable position for the race tomorrow. And it's just going to be a matter of keeping it clean through the first corner, surviving that first corner, first couple laps, and settling in. I do think that the Red Bull still has the superior race pace, and should figure out a way to get past Sainz, either through an overtake or through strategy. And then we have Carlos Sainz on pole, very good result for him. First pole position on merit since the British Grand Prix last year. I believe he had a couple pole positions. Unless, did he get, I know the one in Belgium last year was because of a penalty, but I think the one in Coda was also because of a penalty for someone else. So nonetheless, really good result for him and a fantastic pole position in front of the Ferrari home crowd. So that's all for my review for qualifying. Race will be tonight. Should be a pretty exciting race, and it should be a pretty quick race as well, given that this is generally the fastest race of the year time-wise. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.